Is he gonna tickle him?
Ah, makes him happy, and he dies from joy.
Oh, probably my favorite one.
It's definitely my favorite weapon so far. I hope the backpack comes with it. I love the reload. He flips, he grabs it by the barrel, stuffs that magazine inside, and then flips it back around. That's cool. Love that.
Okay, so we have a big old stick grenade.
Yeah.
There we go. I wonder if this guy's gonna use it as a club.
Yeah.
He was just hanging out, man.
Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of Total Recoil, where we explore weapons and equipment from your favorite video games. I'm Israel Wright, your host, former Green Beret, and with me once again, the late, the great, wait, that means you're dead.
Yeah.
Paul Meixner.
Hey, the zombie Paul Meixner.
The zombie Paul Meixner.
The zombie form. Hey, folks, Paul Meixner here, former U.S. Army infantryman turned weapons and tactics instructor.
And today, folks, we are going to be looking at some wild, wacky weapons from Team Fortress 2. It's good to be back, folks.
I'm looking forward to this, and can I just say thank you to all the commenters. You really let us know about the lore of the video game. Also, I found out #backscatter is the worst weapon to pick. Yeah, so I guess like each weapon is specific to the characters too. And from what I heard, one of them is a nod, one of the characters is a nod to Leon the Professional.
That's awesome.
Yeah, no, that's my favorite movie of all time, so.
Well, this is great, folks. Let's get started. The brass beast.
Oh, look at this thing.
Yeah, that's some heavy-duty firepower there, man.
I got to fire and work with a old school, it's like top-fed, gravity-fed Gatling gun that was hand-cranked on Gunning Time TV.
All right.
And that was pretty sweet. Not the most reliable, but it was groundbreaking at the time. So you got that big-ass front sight post up there. You know, it's neat because it's got like a modern belt going in there, or a chute, you could call it, a chute. And geez, okay. So it looks like it's at a high rate of fire, at least the barrels are turning, but if you watch the bullets coming out, this is a real slow rate of fire, especially for a minigun or a Gatling gun. So
how rude! Shoot him!
Wait, so I heard apparently in the comments you're not supposed to shoot the people that are dancing.
Oh, really?
Yeah, apparently it's like really taboo in gameplay.
Oh, no, we broke the taboo.
The cardinal sin. Well, I didn't do it. I'm just watching it happen. So what's fascinating about Gatling guns, and nowadays the reason you use a Gatling gun is because you want a high rate of fire. That's often why they're on aircraft or specifically jet fighters, because they're going so incredibly fast. You need an incredible rate of fire.
Right.
But this has a pretty slow rate of fire. It's almost like the bullets coming out don't match the muzzle blast, because if you look at the muzzle blast, it looks like that thing's going a million miles a minute. But the rounds coming out are fairly slow. You only push the button a little bit or you'd melt your gun. You gotta go brrr.
Short bursts.
Yeah,
it's a lot of bullets,
like,
even at that short time frame.
On there, can you imagine, that rate of fire going through one barrel? It would for sure melt the barrel. But no, that thing looked cool. It was interesting how the drum was up like this, though. You'd think it'd be the other way around because it's supposedly belt fed, right? So it's got to be throwing links everywhere. It would have to have the battery pack on, like as a backpack or something.
Pretty heavy. Well, the heavy carries it, so he can handle it.
There you go.
He can handle the brass beast.
Okay, the Frontier Justice.
Yeah, we got that Frontier Justice. You got the Frontier and you got the Justice. You got the Frontier Justice.
You always take it to the next level. I love it.
Oh, look at that.
This is cool looking.
I love the scroll work on it too.
Yeah,
what do you think that thing is on the back part right there?
Well, the little box looks like something out of Inspector Gadget, which is kind of funny. I'm guessing that's a battery. And okay, so we got the hammer popping back here. I mean, this is like classic old school shoddy. You know what's interesting? The pump it gets wider as it moves back. Yeah, this is one of the more realistic guns I've seen in here.
Yeah. A shotgun, there's such a beautiful simplicity to the shotgun,
There is, but it's complicated to keep it running. So the advantage of a shotgun that doesn't have a magazine, or a box magazine, I should say, because technically the tube is a form of magazine.
Gotcha, right.
As long as there's breaks in between your fighting or shooting or competition or whatever, you can constantly be filling it up and keeping it topped off. Where like with the rifle or anything that has a box magazine, fed like a detachable magazine, you're out. With the shotgun, you're just constantly feeding it.
Yeah.
And that does take practice. It takes practice getting the right body position, use the right hand movements. Like any sport or anything physical, it takes practice. But the versatility of the shotgun is, I think, most valuable thing about it, where you can load it with darn near anything, you know what I mean? And take down the smallest to the largest game on
Get the Christmas version there.
Jeepers, this is hilarious. So are there different skins, or are there different like themes for this? As we got like Christmas going on here.
Yeah, we got the Christmas lights. I'm not really sure.
Maybe that's what the battery's for. Maybe that's just why it's like, you upgrade.
So you can power the Christmas lights?
Get the little jingly ball on front. Oh,
Yeah.
Here we go.
That's so 1980s action hero, almost like Commando with the 4 tubes.
Yep,
It's got
yep.
the singular
The thing drops
bazooka
down,
tube.
so-
What I love about the weapons in Team Fortress 2 is you get it. It's got the basic components and you totally get the weapon. There's no frills involved. Super industrial.
There's no real way to aim this thing either, so you're just winging it. I see no sights whatsoever on it. Which you think
That's
with
a pretty good
rocket
rate of
launcher-
fire for a rocket launcher.
Oh, here we go. Oh, don't shoot him. Don't. This dude. He's just drinking beer. He's. Oh, you see, it did work.
Oh, I'm surprised that he took
Hey,
more
he
than
left
one
us
shot.
Party favors though. Something to eat and something to drink. It's just a single tube, but there's multiple rockets in it, and so I don't know of a rocket launcher where they line up one behind each other.
Right, that's kind of the game coming into play,
Which
you know.
maybe there's one out there, or maybe they'll develop one. You know, it's just usually you don't want a bunch of fire,
Semi-automatic.
you know, pointed right at a warhead. You know, it
Yeah.
just doesn't. It's not always, especially one that's right next to your face. It's just not always the best idea.
We'll come out with the semi-automatic rocket launcher soon enough.
Yeah, I feel like this would be a valuable weapon in this game because most of the maps we're seeing here are pretty small. Like there's not a lot of distance. I mean, not that the map is small, but there's not a lot of distance for like long range shots. Oh.
The loose cannon.
Oh,
yeah.
yes.
What a hand
Yes.
cannon. I love that.
Big old blunderbuss.
Yeah.
You know what that looks like is a boarding cannon. You know, they used to mount them on ships.
Right.
And it wasn't, for just when they got boarded, they just turn it towards the deck and be like, all right, hope you
Yeah.
guys are out of the way.
I love it. Yeah, it does have that old pirate cannon look to it. I love that.
It's got a big old elevation sight on the
Even
front.
has the
Oh, look
fuse.
at the way it pops out. It just goes
The
bloop.
fuse at the end.
This is like very Acme.
I love it.
Yeah,
Yeah, cannonball, Acme
Not only
cannonball.
does it have the, it's got like the bomb, like the classic, round ball with the fuse on it. This is hilarious. I built one of these out of some gas piping in my backyard when I was a kid. My parents were like, you're not using this thing here.
Donk 2X indeed.
And what's funny too is the way it opens up. It's just loading a bunch in there, yet it's semi-auto.
Yeah.
It's semi-auto with a fuse and like.
The fuse really gets me. I love that.
I've been reading more about this, and I guess there are things that just make absolutely no sense that are for comedic purposes.
Of course, yeah, no.
I love it.
Well, you know what? There's always an intention there. The intention is not always like for realism. Obviously, this is so great, like a pirate, like an old pirate.
I don't know. They're taking something real and they're cartooning it up a little bit.
Yeah,
but
totally.
I really liked the guns in the first one that we showed. Maybe not like that weird Tommy gun. That was an abomination. That upset me. Like I got physically angry. I could feel, for looking at that. But the rest of them were cool. Just a self-igniting fuse every time. You don't have to replace it.
Can you charge the shot, I wonder?
Hooking this thing around. You're gonna get jacked, man.
Yeah, not a lot of range. You're dropping around. The cannonball's dropping pretty quickly.
This has got to be cast iron, and cast iron is heavy.
Yeah. Ulapool caber.
Okay, so we got a big old stick grenade.
Yeah.
There we go.
Classic.
I wonder if this guy's gonna use it as a club. That would be like. Oh, it is
he can use it as a club. Yeah.
Maybe that's not a grenade. Maybe it's just like a oil filter on the end of a stick or
is
something.
it both, or is it just a melee
I
weapon?
don't know. We'll find out.
Yeah.
He was just hanging out, man. So these were designed because they were just easier to throw. It's just a huck like that. You hit it against the ground and then you throw it. Yeah. Oh, Jesus, glowing red.
Oh wait, it explodes. It's like an exploding melee weapon.
This is like a kamikaze club, is what I'd call it. So I do like the details, like the wood is cracking a little bit.
Yeah.
Looks like it was handmade. You could do like a hammer fist with it. It's got that hammer pommel on the bottom. So this is cool. This is something you could make in your backyard, and you should make your own weapon safely.
So it looks like the tip explodes. Like you get a good bonk with, and it explodes because it looks like the end is kind of blown off.
Now, can you direct the blast like away from you, or is it like?
Looks like it's just a melee. You just schwack them with it, and then get a good pop there.
Hitting someone with a club that
See,
explodes.
bonks. I love the classic bonk. Very Batman,
Very
1960s Batman.
Which is, I'm fine with 1960s Batman as long as they never bring it back. I worked with Robert Pattinson on Tenet. Robert Pattinson, who's a brilliant actor, was going to be picked to play Batman. He's like, I don't see it. I'm sure it'll do great, but I don't see it.
The soda popper. Yeah, I love it.
There we go.
Are we firing off soda pop rounds?
There is a legitimate cannon. And I believe it takes blank rounds. It's made by X Products.
Okay.
You can load all kinds of fun stuff in there.
Wow.
Rubber balls or soda cans. Beer cans would be blasphemous unless it's Bud Light, then go for it. So yeah, it exists and it's awesome and it's hilarious. I like all the rubber wrap or the leather wrap. It could be like bike inner tube.
Yeah.
Is it Killing Me Softly? Somebody had a double action shotgun, but they cut it so short that the actual plastic from the shells were sticking out of it.
Oh.
It's like, what the hell is that?
No!
Just a standard coach gun, you know?
Sexy sacks,
super
man.
Short. I want to see this pop can do something. I wonder if that's just a grip.
It looks like it's just for aesthetics.
Or
and
maybe
stuff, 'cause it looks like just your
charges
standard
it up
shotgun.
with like grape soda power.
It is purple.
Yeah, you know, purpling it up. You do like purple.
I do like purple. You like purple.
The right kind of purple.
I like purple.
I mean, it's a quick reload, but I mean, so when you pop those open, usually there's a spring that will either pop them, throw them out completely, or it'll pop them out enough that you can take them and toss them. The best kind is just toss it.
No, wait a second. He's getting 2 shots out of this.
No. So
does it fire both rounds
it's,
together?
It's doing one and then the other, and then he redoes it, and that's almost all of them. If it was at the same time, it's something called volley fire, and at least in the United States, you get into complications with the ATF. That would be considered automatic if it fires more than 1 round at a time.
Oh, interesting.
With most of these side-by-sides and over-unders, it's 1-2, 1-2, and that's what this one's doing right now, 1-2. And you know, you can effectively run a coach gun. It's fine for defense, you know, whether defense against predators or home defense. I'd rather have a pump, or like if I had the money, I'd get a Benelli M4.
Yeah.
Well, I do have the money, but I'm using it to buy a house. Then a Benelli M4. Then a Benelli M4.
The Pretty Boy's pocket pistol. Oh, it's cute. I like how the grip is larger than the barrel itself.
It looks like one of the Colt 25s designed by John Moses Browning, like a little 25 ACP, you know, pocket pistol. What's interesting, the ejection port is on the left side. Usually it's on the right side because most people are right-handed.
Right.
Most awesome, good-looking people are right-handed.
Yep. And then the really
Izzy's
creative,
left-handed.
compassionate, loving people are left-handed.
No, you're a good-looking guy. You're a good-looking guy. I'm just saying.
I love the reload. He flips, he grabs it by the barrel, stuffs that magazine inside, and then flips it back around. That's cool. Love that.
I mean, it's a nice touch for the game, for sure. Man, how many
High rate
rounds
of
are in
fire?
this
Yeah,
thing?
that thing's blazing.
Well, I mean, it's a semi-auto, so semi-autos work as fast as you can pull the trigger. Some semi-autos you got to be careful because you can, you know, almost go too quickly, but that's rare. That's only on certain firearms.
Oh, he's a quick one. He's a
Yeah,
quick
this
one.
thing seems pretty accurate too for the gameplay. Let us know if we're mistaken, but I do love like the little sparks that come off the side of unburnt powder, and that looks realistic. And they had that for a couple of the other ones.
It looks like it's a good secondary that a lot of people
Whoever
use.
is running this has tiny little hands though, because it looks like a tiny little gun, but it's filling up their hands completely. So I wonder what character this is.
This is the Scout, I think.
This is the Scout Small.
I am not short, and I do not have baby hands, and neither did Napoleon.
The Bizarre Bargain. Oh, I love it. So classical.
This is like something the Sand People would carry. This is pretty cool. It's pretty neat. It's super stylized, but like, you know, this looks like some of those ridiculous AR-15 butt stocks that you have to use in like assault weapon banned states, which that's a made-up term, folks.
You got the bolt action there.
Yeah.
Looks like a sniper rifle, marksmanship rifle.
There you go. Well, it looks like old school. So
Looks
like
super
old school sniper rifles had really long scopes on them, like in the cowboy days.
Yeah,
you know,
right.
like. So that just looks like a weird magnifying glass, which is kind of funny.
Yeah, really, it doesn't look like it's going to do much to zoom in or anything
No,
like that.
But it fits the game. I like all the strapping that it has on it. It makes it look really cool. I like most of the guns in this video game. They just look super cool.
Yeah, there's definitely a cool, simple style to them that with a little bit of quirkiness and comedy, you know?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so it's like a bolt gun. It's cool the way the bolt is in the back. It's like a short throw. They're going real quick with it. I wonder how many rounds this carries. Can you see a tube? Is there there's got to be a tube underneath, or it's an internal box magazine?
Could be encased within the wooden frame.
It holds a lot of rounds too. Is that the round thing on the round count on the side, on the bottom corner there? Yeah, it's like 20 some rounds. So yeah, it must be a tube, and it must be a pretty skinny round, or maybe a shorter round. Oh, nice
God, good shot, man. Jumping through the air.
Is that luck or
That's
skill?
some Ron Perlman enemy at the gates type
headshot.
shot.
Right, did you say Ron Perlman?
Yeah, Ron Perlman enemy at the gates when they're jumping across the gap and he gets shot in the head mid-jump.
Ron Perlman's in that, man.
Yeah,
I
Ron
haven't
Perlman,
seen
yeah.
that in a while. Great call.
Yeah.
He's got a big head, so it makes sense.
Yeah, easy target.
You know, big old head.
Scorch shot.
Scorch shot.
Oh.
Okay, this
like
is
a single
cool.
shot grenade launcher there.
Well, could be a blue gun.
Yeah.
Okay, there we go. So it's literally a flare gun.
Single shot, baby. I love
Unless, is that an HE round?
I'm guessing it's HE because
Looks
it's
fine, we're about to
says
find
scorch
out.
shot.
Oh, he's eating a sandwich.
Oh,
Nope,
it's a score shot.
Yeah, it's a flare. So this is. Oh no!
Oh, the finisher!
I didn't know there were finishers in this game.
Goofy ass costume. So this guy, I bet you, carries a bunch of flame weapons. Okay, because he's got the flamethrower that you had mentioned earlier.
Yep.
And then that scorch shot. So that looks like just like a flare that keeps staying lit, and the idea is to light your opponent on fire.
Oh my gosh.
Which, that's a horrible way to go.
Oh, but yeah. No, thank you. I vote for no. Are we in some sort of giant laboratory? Looks like a villain's base.
You rated like, what, TV 14 or MA mature despicable me?
Yes, that's right.
Not the PG version. Did you know the first, I think the first Indiana Jones was PG, and then they moved it up to PG-13 for Temple of the Doom?
Yeah, I think PG-13 was.
There was like, that was the movie that pushed the limits.
It rips a man's heart out, and they only got PG-13 back. They were a lot lighter back then on their standards.
They're better with their Indiana Jones movies too.
Yeah, pretty simple. Almost like an M79 kind of thing.
Yeah, like
it looks like a flare. It looks like
a legit flare gun.
It's a flare.
It's a flare gun. It's a flare gun, which everybody should have a flare gun, among other guns.
You never know when you might be stranded in the desert.
You never know when you might be stranded
or out at sea.
Or need to shoot. Like, there's some funny action movie scenes with flare guns too.
Yeah, what is it? Dead Calm, where at the end Nicole Kidman shoots Billy Zane in the mouth with a flare gun.
Oh, nice. I don't think I've seen that one.
Dead Calm, folks. Look it up. The Rain Blower.
Yeah.
Wow. It's like something you'd find in the orchestra
You
section.
could use water as one of the most intense things in the world.
Is this a water weapon?
Well, let's find out.
Yeah, look at that. The rain blow.
Oh my goodness.
Yes, it blows rainbows and bubbles.
My nieces would love
This is an
gun.
amazing invention.
They're big into bubbles and
Is it gonna tickle him?
Ah, it makes him happy, and he dies from joy.
Oh, man, I sure hope DARPA is watching this and develops one of these. Can you imagine, like, we go into battle with this and it works, and you have a bunch of like, you know,
They just die from happiness and cuteness
or
and joy.
we just convert them with overloading serotonin and dopamine.
Yeah,
and they're just
they
like,
die
I don't want to
happy.
burn people alive anymore in cages. You
Oh.
know, yeah. I just needed a good giggle.
The rain blower.
The character just sees the world that way, but that's a flamethrower.
Oh,
That's amazing. That's even better.
The arsonist guy.
And
yeah.
that's way darker too.
Yeah,
That's super,
yeah.
So he's just burning people
The
alive.
Pyromaniac,
and
but
he
he
thinks he's
sees
helping.
the rainbow.
He thinks he's helping.
He thinks he's
like,
helping people. He's giving
Isn't it
joy
funny?
to
It's
the
hilarious.
world.
Oh man, that's dark.
We
and
should all be so
hilarious.
lucky to see the world in such a way. I love this, man. This is so cute.
Probably my favorite one.
It's definitely my favorite weapon so far. And I hope the backpack comes with it.
Listening to the audio of the game footage. Get down! Get down! I should have with the giggle gun. The burning.
The sparkles.
You know what would be great too is if like the guy using this has like a Music Man, like one man band thing as he's running around and you hear snare drums.
Yeah,
and
with like the cymbals
honking
and the
horns
knees and stuff.
like,
Yeah.
He's coming!
Oh, that's awesome. Oh, that's a great note to go out on. That's
Yeah,
cute.
that was a wonderful finale.
Well, that was a wild, wacky, and weird and wonderful good time. No other W words. Paul, what did you think about what we saw in Team Fortress 2?
Well, it was cool. It met my expectations, except for the last firework, especially after we were informed how like dark and demented it really was. I wouldn't call this a kid's game by any means.
Not with the body parts and the blood
Yeah, no,
blowing everywhere.
it's like the perfect like combination of like hilarious and like silly slapstick comedy with like ultra violence.
Three Stooges meets Quentin Tarantino. We hope you enjoyed this episode of Total Recoil. If you want to see more stuff like this, head over to Gameology's Facebook and YouTube page. If you want to hang out with me and Cameron a little bit more, head over to Shift Fire on YouTube, or you can listen to us talk about all things pop culture and the military crossover, the Pop Culture Field Manual podcast. You can hang out with me on Twitch, twitch.tv/myhappyself. Paul, where can they get a hold of you?
If you want to follow me on my adventures and misadventures, check me out on Mav11B on Instagram, or follow me at Drake and Train Division, and check out my podcast, Thunderpunk Radio.
Take care, folks.
Hasta luego. So if I put my hand on his lap, we don't see it.
You don't see that?
I just want to feel
You don't
safe.
see the harassment happen. I always feel like you're tucking your pinky in, man. I'm Israel Wright. I'm Israel Wright, your host.
He's Julio Wright.
I'm Julio Wright. I'm Julio Wright.